So you remember the Mavi Marmara boarding, of course. Israel boards the flotilla going to Gaza. And, of course, 9 people died on board. Over 30 were shot. And one particular person that I thought was egregiously shot was Furkan Doğan. He was a United States citizen and a Turkish citizen. And what I mean by that is that it appeared from the evidence that he was shot at close range in the head. So that appeared to be an execution. And I said that on air. And I said, do we not care that we had a United States citizen executed? And, of course, a lot of people said, oh, how dare you? You don't know anything. That's ridiculous. That's outrageous. How can you possibly say that? Well, okay, well, now the jury's in. There was a fact-finding mission put together at the United Nations. It's at the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights. And they have studied the evidence, and they concluded from ballistic evidence, among others, as you'll see here, that Doğan was, quote, lying on the deck in a conscious or semi-conscious state for some time before he was shot in the face. They said that the shot was, quote, delivered at point-blank range. And their conclusion was, based on both forensic and firearm evidence, the fact-finding panel concluded that Doğan's killing and that of 5 Turkish citizens by the Israeli troops on the Mavi Marmara in May 31st, quote, can be characterized as extra-legal, arbitrary, and summary executions. All right, now they went through a lot of different evidence. And now, of course, Israel will always reject anyone that isn't an Israeli-appointed commission, and they say that's outrageous. Everybody in the world hates us. There's somebody from Trinidad and Tobago. Why they would hate Israel, I don't know, as part of this fact-finding mission. But they're like, no, the whole world is anti-Israel, and so they're blind to the facts. But the reality is they interviewed over 100 people, and they looked, and they got scientific evidence here. They show exactly where the bullets came in, exactly where they went out. They had forensic experts look at it, and it's rock solid, okay? And, for example, they saw that one of the Turkish citizens, Ibrahim Bilgen, who's 60 years old, he was actually shot from the helicopter. So the Israelis saying that they didn't shoot from the helicopter, not telling the truth, because forensics experts say he clearly was shot from above, the bullet comes in from the top and exits the body, and you can tell how far it traveled, so it must have come from the helicopter, right? Now, the commission is not biased or unbalanced. They say, look, actually the boat was split. And we had an interview on the program with somebody that was on the boat, and after talking to her, I said the same thing. Some people on the boat decided, hey, we're going to be nonviolent, and if they come, we're just going to let them arrest us. Other people on the boat decided to do makeshift weapons, okay? They grabbed railings, they grabbed different things, and they threw it at the Israelis. When the Israelis tried to board from the boats, they didn't allow them, they repelled them. And the commission also found, hey, you know what? On the board, they actually captured 10 Israeli soldiers, which is more than we had realized before. And they did take their weapons. But here's the interesting part about that. They said 9 of the weapons that they took from the Israelis, they immediately threw in the water. They kept 1, they said, for evidence reasons. But what we know for sure is they did not fire any of those weapons. They did not have any guns on them in the beginning, and even after they got the Israelis' guns, they did not use them. They threw them away. When the Israelis came in with guns, that was not the same result. We had the 1 U.S. citizen and 5 other Turkish citizens executed, according to this panel. The Bilgen, the one I was telling you about before, the one that got shot from the helicopter, also point-blank range. After he'd been shot the first time, they come and they shoot him in the side of the head. Gone, dead, executed. Okay? Now, look, you can go, la, 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 I don't see you, I don't hear you. You can do all the denial you want in the world. But facts are stubborn things. Okay? And, by the way, what is the U.S. reaction to this? And this is, I think, more telling than anything else. The State Department, first of all, we've had no official reaction. Okay? Then when you ask the State Department says, the tone and conclusions of this report are unbalanced. It's as if our citizen wasn't executed. It's as if we're on the other side. My God, man, your citizen was executed. Aren't you supposed to say something about that? Aren't you supposed to object to that? It's unbelievable. Now, if you think that's bad, the people reporting this are TruthDig. It's a website. And you can go look at the, not only Truthdig, but you can look at the report itself. And you can see which countries participated. Make up your own mind on it, okay? But Truthdig went and did research. You know how many other United States media outlets have covered this story? 0. Before it came out on Truthdig, none. The report was public. Turkish media had already covered it. Other international media had covered it. 0 U.S. media. All right, can you imagine if Iran boarded a ship and executed a United States citizen? What would be our reaction? We'd be at DEFCON 4 right now, right? We'd literally be thinking about going nuclear. We'd certainly be thinking about invading the country because we already want to invade and they never did anything like this. But when it's our ally, oh, no, 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 oh, it's unbalanced. No, 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 no interest. I don't see it. I don't see it. Oh, la, la, la. Crazy, man. So, you know, I don't want this to be like an anti-Israeli thing. Look, I want peace. I want Israel and Palestine to exist peacefully together, and we all want that. Our show is all about peace, right? And I got nothing against Israel as long as the two countries live side by side. I have no interest in being anti-Israeli. That's not the point. But when people say, hey, the Israeli lobby has a little bit too much power in this country, come on now, isn't that obviously true? And it's not just the Israeli lobby. Don't get me wrong, the NRA has too much power in this country. You know that in this country, the NRA is so powerful that if you're on a terrorist watch list, you can still buy a gun, okay? It's madness. And it's about how our system is corrupt. And it's not by the Israelis, it's not just by the NRA, it's the whole system is structurally corrupt. The AARP has a lot of power, et cetera, right? So, but in this case, does the Israeli lobby have too much power? Come on, come on. The proof is in the pudding here. The country executes one of our citizens, and we nearly apologize to them. It's madness.